Since 2018, Malaysia has made significant strides when it comes to strengthening and upholding its democratic principles, which tells us that change is possible. Since then, key reforms in both Parliament and the legislature has actively taken shape.
Kerana analyze numbers.
Yeah.
But we in politics, we create numbers.
Abolish the Sedition Act. Action under that act should be suspended temporarily.
Yang buat pertama kali ini dibentangkan merangkumi denda 500.
2 akta baharu akan diperkenal manakala 7 undang-undang sedia ada akan dipindah. Tujuannya.
And yes, the momentum to enact reforms is still ongoing and continues to be rolled out nationwide. But again, political stability emerges as a central concern.
There is a great satisfaction, I think, amongst many Malaysians that this law this amendment has finally been passed because, Malaysians hasn't gotten over the trauma, I suppose, of the Sheraton move. And I think this is a quick win, I suppose, to sort of, tell Malaysians, look, we're trying to do something about that. Hopefully, we have slightly better stability going into the next election.
The reform blueprint is a blueprint that ideas together in collaboration with our fellow CSOs kind of work together on for us to know which of these institutional reforms that we believe are absolutely critical for Malaysia to improve on its democracy. We've basically clustered them to 4 different areas. Number 1 is independent and strong parliament. Number 2, electoral and political system. Number 3, it's independent and strong institutions. And number 4, it's the government oversight and transparency. So under each of those 4 clusters, you have different reforms that we think are absolutely critical and pivotal for Malaysia to improve on our democratic system.
Standalone Law Commission, independent of the Attorney General's chambers, will enable it to engage with a broader spectrum of talent, not just within the legal field, but also amongst the sociologists, scientists, and the business community to propose reforms to the necessary laws, for it has to be fit for purpose and time.
With opinions and viewpoints left, right, center that clearly needs to be considered, it could sometimes appear mathematically or even strategically challenging to maintain this stability that many others are so worried about.
Firstly, because we were under one-party rule for a long time, so a lot of the norms or the practices in governing they're not entrenched in systems and in institutions and in laws, right? So that's why in civil society, so many groups are trying to push the government to put these norms into place.
So the whole point of a reform blueprint is to ensure that all of these reforms come together and that they are all interlinked and interconnected, and they all point towards the same goal, which is to achieve a Malaysia that is democratic, more politically competitive, and ensure that Malaysia has a more healthier democracy.